I'm here in South Africa, 2 weeks in Johannesburg, South Africa, and I wasn't prepared for this. I wasn't prepared for a lot of things that are happening. In this video, I want to tell you what those things were and how I could have properly prepared a little bit better. So, welcome into the stream if you're new to the channel. My name is Ashley. On my channel, Ashley in Africa, I talk about my experience living, moving, and doing business here on the continent of Africa. I share my experience of love, motherhood, and entrepreneurship. And yeah, I'm currently in Johannesburg, South Africa. So, welcome everybody. Welcome into the stream. Hi, Lala. If you would like to be greeted, please leave me something in the chat. In this video, I want to talk about what I wasn't prepared for because I wasn't prepared for a lot of this. And I've been preparing for over a year. But today was dope, y'all. Today was such a great day. I'm exhausted, but I'm also here doing this live because I was up having a call with a really dear friend about South Africa. And I was able to realize that this content has been impactful, and the content being shared all over the YouTube about this movement to Africa and sharing more valuable content about Africa is really helping our people make a return. And yeah, I was not prepared for all of the amazing feedback that I've been getting. Right now, I have two people that I have worked with, two families that I have worked with that are currently here in South Africa. Like, I'm not saying I'm the only reason that they came to South Africa, but there are two families that I worked with that I had calls with that are currently here. And today I had two more calls with families that are interested in getting here within the quarter, and people that are moving soon. So, yeah. Um, Hey, Sam. Yeah, this is true. I also have worked with diasporans that are in other parts of the world, whether they were born in Benin, born in Rwanda, born in Kenya, that see the content and they're like, yeah, you give me hope to return to the continent one day. So that's been really helpful. Thank you, Sam, for sharing that. And go ahead and share the stream. And when you share it, let me know so I can shout you out. Um, Lala, you're coming back. Lala is a member of our Africa Investors Academy. I cannot wait for our first event that's coming up. I'm actually going to be sharing in the first event on how to add video marketing into your strategy to grow your business internationally. So, yes, that is our first event for our members of the Africa Investors Academy. And if you have any questions about that, I want to engage with you on this call to answer any questions that you may have. I know some people have asked questions, and I want to make sure that I'm able to answer those. And yeah, go ahead and leave your questions in the chat. It's been a while since I've gone live. It's a joke that I only go live in South Africa, honestly, because the internet is just fantastic. In Tanzania, I was struggling with internet. So go ahead and like this stream, share it, and if you share it, let me know so I can shout you out. So in this live chat, we're just talking about the things I was not prepared for. I was not prepared for this weather. When we got here, it was cold. I was in sweats for 2 days and socks. Coming from Dar es Salaam was like 90 degrees, y'all. Celsius, what's that, like 31, 32? I get here, it's like 20, 70s, which is still warm for a lot of people, but it was cold. I was not prepared for the weather. For 2 days, I was like, oh, this is a lot. I don't know. I wasn't prepared. I had my suitcase of summer clothes, and as you can see, even right now, I'm wearing a hoodie. I got my hoodies out because, but it's been hot. Like, it was hot today. So Was not prepared for the weather, but it has been beautiful. And we've been walking around the neighborhood, and South Africans are like, it's a heat wave. And I'm like, we just came from Dar es Salaam. And they're like, oh, okay, I get it. I get it. So I was not prepared for this weather, y'all. Okay. Um, I was not prepared for the weather, but it's nice. It's beautiful. It's been beautiful these last few days. The girls have been looking for a pool. We're used to just being able to pop over or pop into a pool for the day, and they're not in school. So they're looking to do something and get active. And I also was not prepared for that. So the process of getting them into school is a little bit more tedious than I expected, a lot more tedious, I'd say. And I think rightfully so, right? The school that I'm applying them into is not just accepting everybody. They have a process, and I respect that process. I'm just ready for the process to be done so they can go to school, so I can get to work and get in my flow of doing things. They're ready to get to school also. The little one, every day, she's crying because she wants to go to school. I want her to go to school too. Um, I'm so excited about their school, and I can't wait to see how they do, um, in their first few months. So wasn't prepared for that, but I am grateful for that process. We went to the school, we did a tour, we spoke to the administration, the principal, some of the teachers, and yeah, I'm really excited. They told me that the first week of school is more of like the, chill vibes. The next week of school, there's some learning that begins, but it isn't until the third week where it really gets intense. However, when we were there for the orientation days, the primary students were writing exams. So I was like, oh, that's interesting. This is fun. This is a fun orientation day, but they're still writing exams. So I love that there's a level of excellence required from the school already. So really excited about that. But I wasn't expecting that process, especially since I applied for them in like October of last year. But, there's a process, and it's different than the process of what I had to go through when I put them in school in Tanzania. And so that's something that should just be expected. I will say I came into this process very open, very ready, surrendering to the fact that things were going to go up and down. And I say for people that are interested in moving abroad and specifically to Africa, nothing is going to go as planned, but have your plan so that you know what you need to achieve. Right now, I'm looking at the plan that I created when I was in the US moving to Tanzania, and I made that plan. Nothing happened the way I wanted it to happen, but it happened because I had the plan, right? So yeah, let me check the comments. Please like this stream and share it with someone. If you want a shout out, let me know that you've shared it and I'll shout you out. Black Ronin says South Africa is dope, and I'm an actor considering moving because film is big in Johannesburg. Film and content is huge. I just had a consultation with somebody who is in set design, and she does amazing work in the US, and she's looking to move here. And we're actually planning her discovery trip. And so, yes, I am looking to partner with a couple different producers. My first client was a producer, or is a producer, television and film producer. And yeah, we're bringing scripts, we're bringing projects. So absolutely, Black Ronin. There's so much opportunity in Johannesburg, and the lifestyle is unmatched. Lala says she's coming because of me, spirit animal. Lala and I are spirit animals, y'all. If you don't know, now you know. Hi, Joanne. Yes, you did just join the community. We're so excited to have you in the Africa Investors Academy. Yeah, have you been able to join the Discord? I haven't seen you in the Discord. Let me know if you're having any challenges with that Discord. It can be a little interesting moving around and getting it set up for the first time, but I'm happy to support you. So let me know if you need some help there or if you're good to go. Sam, you're asking what the thought process was picking SA over a country like Kenya in terms of cost of living and business opportunities. Great question. I'll get into that. Hello, Queen Ashley. Nice to see you. Nice to see you too, Reginald. Welcome. Greetings, sis Ashley. Would you say the schools are better in SA or Kenya? Mimi Roberts says, hi, family. Hi. Lala said, period. Yes, Lala. So, Sam, I made my decision about SA before I had even visited Kenya. And people were like, you need to get to Kenya, you need to get to Kenya, you need to get to Kenya. And I planned to travel to Kenya a lot sooner than I did. But when I made that plan, there was a lot going on. Their borders were shut. And then when I finally did get to Kenya, I had already decided on South Africa. And I loved Kenya. I love Kenya, period. Like Nairobi was a vibe. Diani was a vibe. I loved it. Like I still love it. I have an interest in, being there, visiting, going back. But I'd already made my decision to move to SA. And so my time in Kenya was very short. I was only there for about a week, but I loved it. And I studied the economy because once being there, I was like, oh, this is why people were telling me I should get to Kenya. The talent pool is great. It's just, I'd already made the decision. So I would have to spend a bit more time there. But, I am trying to establish some roots here on the continent. And for now, South Africa really feels like home. I was able to establish my business here. The lifestyle just feels so familiar from the lifestyle that I once had. And knowing what it means to live, on the continent, I feel a lot more connected, right, to South Africa. There's some spiritual connections there that I really can't explain, but those are kind of my thinking, my thought process around it, right? I hope that was helpful. Are the schools better in SA or Kenya? I don't know. I can't really tell you, right? Because my girls haven't gone to school in Kenya and they haven't yet started school here in South Africa. I will say, yeah, that they both seem to have a very educated population, right? There seems to be education seems to be a priority in South Africa as it does seem to be in Kenya, as well as countries. And so what we do know is education, the accessibility of it could be, debatable around both countries. But I'd say in the metropolitan, it's where I was in Nairobi, being here in Johannesburg, spending time in Cape Town, a very highly educated group of people, right? So I don't know. I can't say, are the schools better? University wise, I think there are some fantastic universities here in South Africa, like world renowned trade schools, even culinary schools, agriculture, trade. Like, yes, there are a lot of different institutions of education here in South Africa. I'm not familiar with if there are in Kenya, but again, like I said, very highly educated talent pool in both countries. Welcome, Mimi. Welcome. Yafa, welcome. Hi from Mississippi. I forgot. What's our song? David Banner. What's up, Yafa? Welcome. Catores. I don't know how to say that, what you said. Sani Bonani. Did I say it correctly? Sani Bonani. Now you have to tell me what that means because I said it and I don't know what that means. Hello, Ashley. Thank you so much for all of my info. Could you give us a little info about neighborhoods in Johannesburg? I'm also retired. Any info about neighborhoods where retirees live? So great question. I'm actually renting an Airbnb from a couple. Well, there are two properties in this property. The couple is older. They do seem retired. And then when I went to the local kind of marketplace that has like a fruit market, a butcher, a couple really nice restaurants. There seems to be a lot of older people in this neighborhood. But retirees, like, I don't know if this specifically would count as that. I'd say that there are a lot of Gulf estates. I think that would be better for retirees. In the Gulf estates, they're, secure. They have restaurants in the estates. People drive their golf carts. There's pools, there's spas, there's dry cleaners, there's all of that in some of these neighborhoods. So this is like Midrand, Waterfall, Blue Valley. I hope that's helpful. Those are a couple that I know of. I think that those would be great options for retirees. Yes, Sam, that's the key. I've got options, right? And we all have options. And I'm just extending them, I'm just not extending them. I am utilizing my options. That's not the word I'm looking for either, but yeah, we got options. Yes, the connection of spirit to South Africa is really a big deal. Is it fairly easy to set up a business and get it registered in South Africa? I'd say extremely easy, Warrior Street. Yeah, you can absolutely do it. It's a lot easier. You get a lot more access to some of the government um, insights and things when you do have a South African business partner guiding you in that process. The type of businesses that you set up. If you're setting up a critical business, I recommend that, not, necessarily like a traditional business like a restaurant or a shop. But if you have a business that's going to add to the economic vitality of South Africa, create a good amount of jobs for South Africans, bring a different level of trade or impact or education to the people of South Africa, that's what I mean when I talk about critical businesses. Those are the businesses that are a lot more welcome, right? And will afford you better access to residency and, just different opportunities here on the continent, or excuse me, in South Africa. Sam asked, are my kids in local school? What's known as an international school? So they're not in an international school. I have applied them to a private school, but it is not international. Hi, Ricky. Greetings from Cape Town. Hey. Sunny Bonani is hello, everyone in Zulu. Okay, perfect. Appreciate you sharing your journey. It's all love. Thank you. I'm honored to share. MP Ram says there are a lot of retirement estates in SA. Check out Pretoria or Tishwani. Tishwani? Did I say it correctly? Yes, thank you so much. South Africa does give options. Does the SA government offer grants for agriculture business endeavors? I'm not sure about that, but definitely look into it. I think when I talk to entrepreneurs and people doing business, one of the best things we can do is tap into funding in our home country for the work that we're doing in these other countries, right? The grants and things like that, I think they're created for South Africans that are doing business. And so kind of looking for grants from the countries where we're coming in as, I'm not saying that that's the wrong thing to do, but I definitely advocate for, especially Americans, to look at getting funding in America, because there are a lot of funding opportunities for Americans in America to bring that money here to the continent, specifically to South Africa. And there are a lot of bridge programs that would support business in both, but definitely think about that. Simi says he loves Nairobi. Yeah, so I wasn't expecting, I'd say, the amount of love and support that I've gotten already. Like, things are definitely opening up. Things are working out in my favor, which has always really been the case, right? Like, I'm so grateful for that. because this journey is not easy. I was speaking to someone today and they were saying that although the content, that I'm positive and I'm always, sharing the positive, sharing um, what is aspirational, or just always looking for the positive, that they can tell that it's a journey and that at some point it's a process and it can feel like a struggle. But what I have learned is, especially when living this type of alternative lifestyle and doing something that I've never done and most people in my circle have never done, is staying positive and just surrendering to it and just trusting, right? Trusting in myself, trusting that I am doing the right thing with the right intentions, with love, and, you know, things open up. Things open up, and I'm grateful for that. I also was not prepared for this load shedding. Okay. I am just going to say that. Now, having said that, because I did talk about that in the first video where I was like, oh, I'm used to it. I live in Tanzania. And while I recognize that it is very much an inconvenience, it is very frustrating because I have the app. The app is not accurate. Okay. The app says load shedding begins in 55 minutes. 5 seconds later, zoom, there's no power. And then it's like 4 hours sometimes, 3 hours. Again, I'm used to it. So I've learned we have a gas cooker, like a little gas tank with a cooker on the top. I made some pancakes the other day during load shedding. You know, that was me tapping into life in Tanzania, because had I been coming from the US, I've been like, what do I do? What do I do? But I do. I have a bag of battery operated little headlamps. We had those from Tanzania. So everybody in the house gets a light, puts it on their forehead, we move around. I've got candles, I've got a lantern there, a battery operated lantern. But it is a bit annoying getting in and out of the gate when there's load shedding. Like, that's a bit frustrating. So the homes that I'm looking at are absolutely with have inverters. That is, it's just mandatory for where I am now in my business. Like, I need to be able to operate my business despite the load shedding. But everywhere has its things. Everywhere has its things. And what's going on in my home country, I will take load shedding any day. But I will say it's a bit frustrating. So I agree with everyone who's in the comments saying I need to not dress it up as it's not a problem. It is. And I can see why it's very frustrating. I will also say that historically, this is not something that's new, right? When countries are going through kind of some reconstruction, they're expanding their grid, they're expanding their capabilities, they're going through leadership changes. Some of the infrastructure takes a hit, right? And so this historically has happened. It's happened, and it is happening in the US, it's happened in the UK, in developing countries. Like, this is a thing. So I will say to the South African people, y'all are resilient, and your country is definitely on it's up. The country is up. It's going through some challenges, but it's up, and it's only upwards from here. So, you know, that's my take on that. But I don't know that I was fully prepared. Let me go into the comments. The question: are there opportunities for agribusiness out here? Yes, absolutely. Lala will talk a lot about that in the Africa Investors Academy. Agribusiness is one of the main sectors, a critical business. So if you're looking to work in agribusiness, horticulture, innovation around farming, um, uh, what is it called? When you're co-oping, Yeah, so many different opportunities. Agribusiness is huge, not only in South Africa, but all over the continent, but huge, huge, huge. And if you're going into agribusiness as a critical business or a critical skill, it also is, it makes your visa process, um, kind of puts a little gold star in your application. Michelle, your thoughts exactly. I don't know what you're speaking about. I think you're talking about load shedding. But yes, welcome to Manzani. Yes, Mzansi. Did I say it correctly? Caswell, or Caswell? Yes, thank you. Load shedding is a nightmare, but I'm glad you already have other alternatives. Yeah, it's National Bay. Load shedding is basically power outages, scheduled power outages that happen every day throughout the day, different parts of South Africa, different times of the day, every day. So yeah, I'm using the address that the people told me where you were in. So they told me what zone we were in. That's the zone that I downloaded. It's just not as accurate. Some days it is, but no, some days it isn't. I would love to speak with you regarding the move there in the next year. I do need assistance. Yeah, bro, hit my line. My link is in the description, but also in the descriptions of all the videos. So I'd be happy to support you. I worked with so far over 50 families this past year. Surprisingly, I was going through my calendar to like kind of check and see what I've done this past year. And it's been 50 families that we've helped so far. So I'd love to support you. Um, MP Ram says, don't worry about it. I got you. Frustrated even business for long term. So yeah, but on the other hand, I enjoyed Tanzania was great. Yeah, it's a bit more. It has its considerations, and it can be a challenge for sure. I'd say South Africa is a lot more friendlier for foreigners, foreign investment. Thus, its dynamic, diverse population, the Rainbow Nation. Tavani says she's off grid. She doesn't worry about load shedding. Yes, Tavani. Yes, Michelle says patience. I read that some people have solar panels, but the challenge is sometimes there's no internet access and one needs fiber connection. Yeah, so fiber seems to be the connection for internet for most places. Um, yeah, where I am, the inverter or the generator does power the internet. So the internet is still available, which is good for working or for the kids. They have access to entertainment options. But yes, fiber, I think fiber is just really the future anyway, because it just helps better connection speeds and all of that stuff. Solar is absolutely necessary because the sun here is everything. It's always a thing. So solar is absolutely a thing. I feel like everybody who can afford solar and governments should start implementing solar programs, but that's neither here nor there because there is so much red tape around alternative energy. And there's a lot of funding around alternative energy as well. My current client here has an alternative energy fund. So for people that have alternative energy projects here in South Africa and are looking for funding, go ahead and visit brandupglobal.co and apply for funding there. Mike, shout out from Massachusetts. You have great content. Thank you, Mike. I was born in Massachusetts. I was born in Roxbury. Yeah, Beth Israel Hospital, matter of fact. I lived there until I was 10. It's cold. It's cold in Massachusetts. So I'm sending you some sun because I know it's cold there. You can get me to Massachusetts between the months of October and March. Okay. And I haven't been back in a minute. It's too cold there. Nolan, love the positivity. Positivity. Yeah. South Africa, you guys have it great. You guys have it great here. Oh, Michelle, you're an American in Cape Town. Okay. Yes. I love Cape Town. Lil Ernest, what's the currency exchange rate from one US dollar to South Africa? Google it, please. But Michelle told you it was 17 to 1. So, yes, it goes anywhere from like 18 to 16. It's been fluctuating. But you can Google that and see it for yourself so you can see kind of the chart of how it fluctuates. But thank you, Michelle, for adding that value to the conversation. And SBOT for doing that as well. Yes, they are. What I know about South Africans, they are very much aware of the geopolitical position of their country. And I love that. Please like the stream. There's about 100 of us in here and only 46 likes. So let's get the likes up. Let's get the likes up. So, what did I talk about? Wasn't prepared for the weather, was not prepared for the load shedding. Also, wasn't prepared for the process of the girls getting into school. I wanted to share with more things I wasn't prepared for, but we need to get the likes up. So let's get the likes up to 65, 70. Let's get them up to 70, please. All right, we're close. You sure can live your best life in South Africa if you choose. Stanley, always fantastic. I will have to watch it again from the start. Yes, please. All right, we got the likes up. Y'all go hard. Y'all go hard. Y'all are so great. I was not prepared for the festive season return. So, festive season, December 1 to January 15th. Is that accurate? My South Africans, I'd say, is that accurate? Because that's what it's feeling like. People did not get started back work until January 15th. I love it, quite frankly. I was on the same. My calendar was blocked off as well. Today's the first day that I started taking clients since December. Um, so absolutely. But I wasn't prepared for that. I think that also kind of held up things with the girls' school, held up things with me finding a place, getting agents to respond to my inquiries. But I get it. Festive season. Michelle said, yes, school and work went until the 15th. I will absolutely enjoy. Yeah, that's been my observation. So I think coming here was great for my new year. Like, okay, starting the goal of getting the girls into school at the beginning of the year. But they're going to be a little bit delayed given the festive season. But I think that that's okay, right? Because this is their first time. They haven't traveled with me to South Africa. Every time that I traveled solo. So this is their first time in South Africa, first time in Johannesburg. So we're using this time a little bit as a holiday. So we've gone to, Rosebank, we've gone to Sandton, Mall of Africa. I really want to take them on some safaris, but I can't make promises because I've been so focused on trying to find a place and standing by the computer waiting for the application to come through so I can be like, school fees in. But yeah, we've been kind of using it as a bit of a holiday for them to just get familiar with where they are. And so they're staying up late, they're driving me crazy, but they're loving it. I should check out Pretoria. Yeah, I hear so many people saying Pretoria. I have some friends that live in Pretoria. My client is in Sandton. And so the office where I'd work out of is in Sandton. So it just makes sense for me to be in Johannesburg for now. But I am not open. I am not closed to like anywhere. I'm here exploring. I'm open to wherever the lifestyle that I want to live is available to us. Yeah, I hear that. You need time to free your mind in December. We need a break. I love that. Like that's important. Break time with friends and family. That is a value that I very much internalize. That I very much hold to my heart breaks, like time off, time away from work is so imperative. It is imperative, especially for families. Burnout is real. Professionals, founders, entrepreneurs, burnout is real. And so to be able to have that amount of time off is, I'm not complaining. And patience is something that I've learned living in Tanzania for 2 years. Like, you learn patience. You learn that nothing is really going to happen on your time. Because if you do too much thinking things are going to happen like this, you will stress yourself out. And I don't have time for stress. I have relieved stress out of my life. Stress, I am allergic to stress. We don't do stress. Hi, Tiffany. Welcome. I haven't taken the gout train yet. Haven't, but I would. I would do that. I would take that to probably Pretoria. The girls would love that. I think that might be an activity this week. Thank you for that suggestion. Because I have definitely been trying to find activities. We went to the Santon Library today. They were closed because I think of a water pressure issue. Because my girls have a short attention span. So like doing, which I really want to go to the apartheid museum because when I was here last, it was closed. But my girls wouldn't appreciate that. But I thought about taking them to the amusement park. I forgot the name, but I didn't want to tell them because you tell kids something and they will ask you every day, when are we going? When are we going? So I've been looking at things, but that actually would be great. I think that they would love it. Yeah, son, I load shedding does not disrupt my day. It really doesn't. It's a little annoying, but I've gotten used to power outages in Tanzania. So it's not, I'm not saying that it's not a problem, but it definitely doesn't disturb, like it's not going to ruin my day. Like nothing can ruin my day. Things can ruin my moment or ruin the hour maybe, but I know how to reset and ground, okay? I know how to do some resetting and regrounding to get my attitude back, my energy back, my vibration level back, because nothing is taking a whole day from me. Okay. It's a little more slow. What's PT? Oh, Pretoria is a little more slow pace as compared to Joburg. Always better to be a Joburg if your business is there. Yeah. The Soweto tour. Yeah, I've done the Soweto tour. Again, like considering the girls, that's really like what they're, and their age difference because they're 11 and 4. What the 4-year-old would love is different from what an 11-year-old would love. So we're figuring it out, right? I'm trying to figure it out. I know they would love to do like a safari, but we've done so many of those. A game drive, not a safari, a game drive, because safari just means journey in Swahili. And so I try to say, oh, the game drive. I think that they would love that. I missed you. Why did I leave Tanzania? Okay, we'll talk about that. By the way, uh, the areas which don't get load shedding. Which areas don't get load shedding? So let me write that down. Why did so one of the things that I did notice that I was not prepared for, but I think I was a bit confused. Because I have been to Johannesburg in South Africa really by myself without the kids, I'm not used to feeding 3 mouths. Quite frankly, every time that I've come, I've gone out to eat and typically gone out with company. So I wasn't always paying and I wasn't feeding 3 mouths, nor was I doing grocery shopping because I was really on holiday. And me, I'm a person that I eat very light. I drink a lot of water, but I eat very light. But there are days where I go in, I'm not gonna lie. But for the most part, like I'll typically just eat like one cooked meal a day, maybe two cooked meals a day, maybe one day skip all cooked meals and just eat a bunch of raw fruits and vegetables. But the food costs have gone up. Is this right? My South Africans, like Food costs have gone up here. Um, Nowhere near as high as the US, but definitely higher than Tanzania. Of course, I understand packaging and transport costs. I'm used to buying fruits and vegetables from the market or from like fruit stands, bargaining, you know, and I wasn't buying a lot of processed things. For the most part, spaghetti and bread. Like those are the only two processed things since I've been here. The girls have been getting biscuits, cereal, muffins, all of the things, chips, because they're not used to seeing those things. Um, yeah, Woolworth is higher than Pick and Pay and Spar. So I've been doing Pick and Pay. Woolworths here and there. Um, but Pick and Pay on a good day, because I went to the same Pick and Pay 2 different days and the stock was very different. Um, very, very different. So here's my water, y'all. This is probably my second of the day. So I did see a food lovers market. Is there a food lovers store where it's just like food, little things you can buy? I have not seen a market. Um, so yeah, I did see food lovers, but it had like, just sandwiches, salads, like little small to go stuff. It didn't have, that was in Rosebank. Um, but yes, I have not given up. I have not, I'm here. I am here. This is home. So we're going to figure it out. But yes, the market prices definitely do spoil you. Like the mangoes, I'm used to spending like, yeah, I could get like 4 mangoes for the price of one mango here. Um, and one mango, 3 mangoes here you can get for one mango in the US. So it's definitely cheaper than food costs in the US. But yes, better eating vibes. And that's the thing, I knew that. I was prepared for that, but I was prepared for the fact that the food here is so good that though my eating habits were going to change some because I'm just used to doing a lot of fresh fruits. Like my kids, like today, I bought grapes, I brought berries, I brought peaches, nectarines, watermelon, mangoes. The fruit is halfway gone. I, I, in an hour, like the fruit is halfway gone. So they're used to eating fruit, just like, um, and Michelle said from the guys on the road. Yeah, that's what I need to do. Like once I get settled too and a little bit more familiar, and I'm literally trucking the girls with me everywhere I go, right? So I'm used to them being in school and me having my days to do shopping or having a helper that's going to the market on my behalf. Um, that's also a thing for my women and men in the US. Like, I outsourced that for the longest time where I just had a list and I knew what things cost and I had someone go negotiate those prices, bring back the fresh fruits and vegetables. So I will, yes, I will be, like I said, I have not given up because I know how to get fresh fruit and vegetables. I know what that stuff costs. I know that that is a part of the way that I now eat. So I will not be going just fully back into kind of the processed meats and foods, but that's what we're doing for the first few weeks of us being here until I can get comfortable in my own kitchen with my own spices and my own pots and pans. Um, but yeah, let me pop into the comments. Yes, Tiffany, the market prices will spoil you. And you said you're in Morocco. Ooh, how's Morocco? I'm so down to go. Boxer Supermarket. I'm gonna write that down on Della because I have been looking at all the different like fruit wholesale options because I might as well buy wholesale grapes. The way these kids eat grapes, they inhale grapes. Um, Maybe not banana so much, but berries, grapes, They like apples, they inhale. The US is ridiculous when it comes to produce cost. Yeah, it's so expensive in the US. South African food here, I might say to myself, is still very cheap when you say it's gone up and a bit expensive where you're shopping. Well, I had heard, and this is like on the news, which I don't even really watch the news, but they were talking about inflation here in South Africa. So they were talking about fuel, petrol, and food costs. So I had heard that on the news. Granted, I am coming from Tanzania where food costs are, totally different cost of living. So I don't know. I all I know is that the food costs are more expensive than Tanzania. Of course they are because grocery store shopping, packaging, all of that stuff, rent, where I'm used to just buying things from the market. So I expected that, but I didn't really understand how inflation was working here because I know a lot of the fruits and vegetables are grown locally, so it's not imported. But I haven't found my place yet, right? So like I've been to Pick and Pay, and today I went to, is it Bromfontein? No, I forgot. It's somewhere in Santon, that Pick and Pay. And then I've been to Rosebank Pick and Pay a few times. And then I was at Checkers in the Mall of Africa, right? So I've just been like going back and forth trying to find a place, places that I like to shop. And I really haven't been spending a lot of time like price comparisons. I don't do a really good job at that, but I have been noticing like, oh, I am shopping in grocery stores, so it's going to be a bit more expensive. Ooh, you're originally from New Jersey, okay, but you're loving Morocco. Yes, I bet. Yeah, like village food and of South Africa is very, very fresh. Chicken alone doesn't need spice. Ooh, you like village food of South Africa. So is it Imanati? Imanati? I say it properly. How do I get in on the village produce? Right? Like, how do I get in on that? How do I place orders to get village produce delivered like once a week or something like that? Or like, can I meet somebody halfway and like pick up a box? That's what I need to know. How can I get in on that? Because I am also used to that fresh, like produce, chicken that was slaughtered yesterday, cow that was slaughtered yesterday, goat that was slaughtered yesterday, and I'm cooking it the next day, right? Also, this stuff tends to go bad in the refrigerator if it's not cooked. So that's what I'm used to. And I'm trying to figure out how I can get access to that. So let me know in the comments. Have you been able to find the same level of domestic help that you had in Tanzania? So not yet. I have not. But I do have a lot of like numbers. Like people have been like, yo, I got somebody, I got an agency. Where I'm staying right now is temporary homestay. There's a woman who comes once a week. So she told me she has somebody who's looking for work. So yes, I've already put out the call. Okay. I've already put out the call. It's definitely a bit more expensive than what you would pay for in South Africa. But all of this is very, excuse me, in Tanzania, but it's also very relative to their level of experience, right? So the first person that I had in Tanzania, she had great experience, and she was excellent. Okay, I didn't have to ask her to do anything, and so I paid her accordingly. Then the next person that I got, honey, she was struggling. She was great at cleaning, but other than that, she wasn't doing nothing extra. Okay. She wasn't doing nothing extra. And, it kind of showed in what she was getting paid. So yeah, I'm open, right? Of course, I pay fair wage, if not more. And I'm looking for somebody that has a bit more of experience, but ultimately somebody that is going to fit in with my family and the energy. So that's huge. So I am optimistic because everything works out. Everything has been working out in our favor, but we absolutely will be getting some domestic support, some house helpers. It's interesting because I'm looking at two separate places. One place is like small and cozy, 2 bedroom, 2 bath. And the other place is like a 4 bedroom, 4 bath. But I love both. So I'm like, do I want to downsize and be out and about for the first year? Or do I want to live in this luxurious home and never go anywhere because it's so beautiful? And they're actually going to probably cost me around the same amount. But for the 2 bedroom, I wouldn't need somebody there every day. Like it would be super low maintenance. But for the 4 bedroom, 4 bath, yeah, we would definitely have to have somebody there every day with us. So I'll keep you updated. You know I will. You know I will. But we're never going back to doing this thing on our own because we don't have to. And I'm grateful for that, for sure. Did you visit Spain and Morocco? Morocco, they want to be European. I'm gonna skip that one. Checkers is better than Pick and Pay. I really like Checkers. Maybe check City Deep for produce, but Food Local Market has it also. What is this? City Deep. I'm gonna write that down. Food markets. Woolworths is great. I love Woolworths. They have the best like pre-prepped food, very bougie, like cheeses. Love that. What is hard body chicken? Is that like natural chicken, like the strong chicken, the chicken that's like the chicken you have to cook all day for like 9-10 hours? Because we call that in Tanzania local chicken. And nobody got time to be cooking chicken for that long. I would cook it in a pressure cooker, and it was pretty good. But also, like, I know, natural, all natural, not a broiler chicken that's just pumped up to be cooked. Um, all right, Lala, see you. There's a fruit and veg market in Jumbo Goodman's Butchery. Ooh, I love a butchery. Bryanson Organic Market. Yes. Okay. Jackson's Whole Food Market. Y'all are hooking me up. We're going to do some more of these because I'm going to need some more recommendations. Well, we'll help you take care of the house. Don't worry. Yes. Thank you. We'll be going to Johannesburg. Suki, recommend any good restaurants? Oh, Bossman is in here asking for restaurants. Hit them up, family, with some restaurants. There are a ton. The Boss Man, I have itineraries that I've created. They're super inexpensive, about 19 US dollars. List of my favorite restaurants here in South Africa. So super inexpensive, also with the Google locations. I've got some personal drivers, some tour guides, hotels, spas, places to shop, malls, all of that. Over at ashleyinafrika.com. I'll put the link. I'll put the link in the what? I'll put the link in the chat for you. Yes, yes. Papa's on the square where restaurant goes with openings for USD a whole chicken with pop. Ooh, Mabading is the best food. What's the restaurant that you go to, Francois? Francois, you're using somebody's. I'm not going. Ooh, dragon fruit. Love dragon fruit. Carrieras fruit and veg. Okay. Someone's asking a great question. Does living in South Africa feel more like America? So, no. No. And there is familiarities, right? So I think what South Africa does offer is somewhat of a Western lifestyle. Um, that's accurate, right? The infrastructure, the lifestyle, um, the quality of life. But I will say, in many ways, it is an elevated level of living than the US, right? So, as we talked about, festive season, like festive season does not exist in the US. Like, people might get off a couple days um, between Christmas and New Year's Eve, but that's it. Um, but yeah, there are familiarities, right? There are familiarities, but it's not the same at all. Would I consider living in Ghana more opportunities for startups? Yeah, I'm not opposed. Listen, I'm not going to say anything bad about the continent. Like, there are 54 countries, and there is a thing in your heart that will call you to this country or to another country. For me, let me answer that question. Why did I choose South Africa? Why did I leave Tanzania? Tanzania was me leaving the US, going to a place that was a bit familiar because I had friends there that were from the same city that I was from. And I had developed a community there. I knew I wanted to just decompress. I wanted to reconnect with nature. I wanted a slower pace of life from what I had been living in the US for all of my life. And Tanzania offered that. The luxurious side of Tanzania, the cost of living was great. Um, yeah, and there was like a familiarity because I had some friends turn family there in Tanzania. The girls were in school. It just gave me an opportunity for rest. I don't know how many people know anything about sabbaticals. I have been working, they say, right? The people that work the hardest and do the well most successful, 10 years, people take a sabbatical. I've been working for 20 years at that point. Started working when I was 16 years old, full time. And 20 years in, I needed a break. So I was able to take a break, and Tanzania was the perfect place to do that. I will forever be indebted to Tanzania and for what it gave me. It taught me so much about a soft life, what it meant to accept help, what it meant to eat holistically, naturally, heal my body, heal my mind, heal my spirit, be in the ocean. I mean, it was everything. It is everything. And then, I started to realize I need to get back to work. And how did I want to work? And where did I want to work? And I knew I didn't want to go back to the US. Like, the US was not an option. It's completely unsafe. Children are not valued. The Black family is just not a priority. There's just so many structural issues with America as a Black woman, African American woman. After living in Africa, there is no way that I, as intellectually aware and consciously aware as I have become over these last couple of years, could ever live back in America the way America currently is today. So, where would I go where I could still work, where I could attract the type of partnerships that would be helpful for me, that would be a business friendly environment where they would honor and find my skill sets attractive? It was South Africa. It was South Africa. It is South Africa. I came here, I would visit, I would meet people that professionally wanted to start working together. And every time I came back, there was opportunities. Um, there were opportunities for me to get in partnership, get working. So I had two contracts here with people before I'd even moved to South Africa. So that's when I knew, like, okay, if I want to get back to work, I can make it happen in South Africa. And so, thus, I chose Johannesburg, because that is where my current clients are. And the opportunity for me to get back into the work field, for me to, you know, add value to the economy here based on the work that I'm doing, which is attracting forward investment, deploying capital for small businesses here in South Africa, and creating strategic brand partnerships with brands that have an interest getting started here on the continent and using South Africa as a launch pad. So that's a long answer to your short question of why Tanzania versus South Africa, but it's not even really a versus because I will be doing some work in Tanzania still. I think, quite frankly, winter comes, I'm going to be in East Africa because it's cold here. It was cold here a week ago in the summer. So I have not been here in the winter, but I do plan on being somewhere in East Africa or West Africa come winter time. So, yes. Chris and Francois, I hope y'all are being nice. If not, we're gonna have to, get y'all up out of here because it's positivity, all of them in this conversation. Okay. Corruption, now there's some ground. Okay. Awesome. Yeah. Tiffany. Oh, Pat, you're African American. You want to leave. Pat, listen, I had a conversation today with someone who is a multimillionaire founder. She historically raised more money for her startup in less time than any other Black founder there is. I will not release her name because she told me that she hasn't told anybody yet that she's left, that she's in the process of moving. But another person that I talked to today, she is an artist and six-figure earning artist, and she's considering moving next year. Yeah, I mean, it's not even what I have come across in this like YouTube space, especially when I first started, was it was like the, struggle life, like, oh, I can't make it in America. It's too expensive in America. I'm going to go to Africa with $500 and live my best life. Absolutely not. It is professionals, entrepreneurs, six, seven, eight-figure earners that are deciding to just lay down this like rat race, this hustle culture, this burnout culture, and like go to a place where we're treated best. And come on, come through. Like, absolutely get your money up, get your funds together, create a cushion for yourself, come with the intention of learning, being open to opportunities and experiences, and understanding a different way of life. For sure, it's absolutely available to you. But yeah, the US has been off the chain. I have to disconnect from like news and all of that because every time I see something, I just shaking my head. It's just a lot. Michelle, you said it's a mild winter. I hope so. I hope so because yeah, it was a bit cold when I got here. So I'm hoping I'm gonna give it a try. But the minute it turns a little bit too nippy for me, I will be in East Africa somewhere. um, yes, Chris, peace and love. Thank you. We do peace and love. Hi, Iris. It's really time to leave. D mode. Yeah, Pat, you're definitely coming soon. You're welcome. You are welcome. So, how long have we been on the stream? Yeah, a little bit over an hour. This has been great, y'all. I am committed to doing lives more with the community, engaging. But I just wanted to share, what are the things that I wasn't prepared for? Because I did a lot of preparation. And there's nothing like getting on the ground, being in it, and then being like, okay, wow. Some things you just can't prepare for. You just have to get here. You just have to like put your feet on the ground and get it going. Um, and I know it's going to get, once we get settled, right? We're still kind of in this limbo of finding a place and getting the girls in school. And once I'm able to do that, thankfully my client is very understanding. I'm able to like check in a couple times a week. But yeah, once all of that settles down and I'm good, they're super understanding. We're gonna get ramped up. Donald, how do you get in touch with me regarding business? You're based in Joburg. My email is in the description. So you can absolutely get in contact with me, send me an email in the subject line, let me know what it's regarding, and we can go from there. Mambo, Dada, Poa, Makaya, Makaya, Poa. You've heard Johannesburg is a dangerous place to live in terms of crime. Lana K, 21, where are you writing from? Let me know about that. Okay, Simi, how was my transition? These are great questions. I love that y'all bring in the questions as I was about to shut it down, but we'll get into this. The God says, what wasn't you prepared for? I was just talking about it. The God, the whole video. So you might have to go watch the replay. But just give you a little snippet, the weather, the load shedding, the festive season return, some of the increased costs, but ultimately the love and support that I have received and that everything has really been unfolding in our favor and working out in our favor. Those are the things I wasn't prepared for, the God. I hope that was helpful. Where your stream, your info and impressions are very much appreciated. Yes, thank you so much. Chris, if you come here, you'll need to learn Afrikaans, so don't worry, at least you'll know one African language. Afrikaans. You don't have to learn Afrikaans, Francois. You joined late. Okay, cool. You're welcome. Chris, you don't have to learn Afrikaans, Chris. Everybody in the chat, you don't have to learn Afrikaans. It's not necessary. Okay, so Lana K, where are you writing that question from? You hear that Johannesburg is a dangerous place. Does it feel a whole lot safer in South Africa than ATL? Absolutely. Yes, absolutely. So for people on the continent, people do think of Johannesburg as one of the most dangerous places on the continent of Africa. Why is that? Well, my hypothesis is because South Africa has a media landscape very similar to the West, pushing out a lot of sensationalized media that gets attention. What gets more attention? Good news or bad news, right? Bad news. So it's very similar to the Western media uh, strategy. And I will say that personally, coming from the West, anywhere in the West, the US, the UK, it's a lot safer than those places. They will have you thinking, based on the Kings of Joburg and all of these crime movies and these Netflix thrillers, that it is so dangerous. Well, in fact, there is more crime in the major metropolitan cities of the US than compared to Johannesburg. Now, is there crime? Absolutely. There's crime everywhere. But I will say that it's not as bad as it is made to seem. This also is dependent upon the areas and the neighborhoods in which you are residing in and you are spending time in. So for me, I am spending time in safer areas because that's where I'm going to be, in safer areas where I am still enjoying a fabulous time. We're going to the malls, we're going to different parts of South Africa, and we're just not in places where there is a highly concentrated amount of crime. Again, does it exist? Absolutely. But is it the way that people like it to seem? May put it out to seem? Absolutely not. I did a video about Cape Town. I was shocked the way they talk about Cape Town as like the murder capital of the world. How? It is the most luxurious place I have ever been to. And I've been to Paris, I've been to Tokyo, I've been to Seoul. I've been like, it is luxury on luxury. It is opulence. It is, granted, is there poverty? Absolutely, there is. But it's impossible for this to be one and the same, or else you wouldn't have the amount of foreign wealth that exists in these cities, right? Johannesburg is the highest concentrated city in South Africa. The richest square mile of the continent of Africa exists in Johannesburg, right? So how can the two be the same? It's so dangerous, but it's the richest square mile in the entire continent, on the entire continent of Africa, right? So be careful of, what you listen to, from what you hear, right? Again, not saying that there is no crime, but I am saying that if you from America, again, right? Tiffany says if you haven't been in NYC, LA, Chicago, like, I've lived in Atlanta, I've lived in Miami, Boston, Massachusetts, New York, Harlem, it's wild. Spent a lot of time in LA, a lot of time in Chicago. It's wild in America right now. It is not anything like those places, okay? So that's my rant. That's my rant. Okay. Any other questions? Any other questions? Y'all have been great. I always love going live with y'all. I'll be going live more. I promise. If you like the stream, please like it, share it with someone who would find value in it. The boss man, am I half Asian? I am not half Asian. I am a quarter. My dad was born in Korea. Black father, Korean mother, adopted by a Black family in Huntsville, Alabama. Isn't that a story? You enjoyed the rant, the boss man? That's my rant. It's always been a war zone all over America. Right. I had a person ask me, he's like, so you're just now realizing that America is unsafe? In Tanzania, he's like, so you never knew that? I was like, when you live in it, when you live in chaos, you don't realize you're in chaos, right? The fish doesn't even realize he's in water. Not until you realize and you take a step back do you realize how unsafe it is in America until you get out. So for people that are in America hearing, oh, Johannesburg is so unsafe, I remember, I had family members telling me what was going to happen to me and my girls that was totally disrespectful, explicit, because we wanted to move to South Africa. And I'm saying this is happening in America. Black girls, Black children, Black women are disappearing off the streets and nobody's talking about it in America, right? Are these things happening on the continent? Maybe, but I also know of people specifically who have lost their daughters, right? Me, myself, my sister was murdered in America, brutally murdered. So, yeah, no. I feel way safer here than I've ever felt in America. Tiffany, I'm so happy you caught the live. Me too, Tiffany. Welcome. Any languages I'm interested in? Yes. So Zulu, I will be learning Zulu and Iswana. Itswana. Yeah, the girls will be learning that as well. Those are the two that I'm gonna focus on, right? Francois, I'm about to block you because, of course, the Afrikaans men will say that Afrikaans is the easiest language and the best language to learn. Like, it is not a Bantu language. We learn in Bantu languages, okay? Francois, you are a guest in this space. Please stop. You are a guest here, okay? Those are the languages that we're interested in learning. No, I won't. I have no interest in learning Afrikaans. Okay. I know some people that do say certain things. What is it? Donkey or whatever. I don't say, we speak in Bantu languages over here. Okay. We speak in Bantu, traditional African languages. Okay. That's what we're speaking. And that's what we're focused on speaking. What would I like to accomplish while living in Africa? I mean, I have already accomplished what I came to accomplish, right? I have accomplished the peace. I have accomplished a sense of peace, a sense of understanding, remembrance, intention, purpose. I've really accomplished the things that I came to accomplish. Everything else now is a cherry on top, right? Of course, fortifying relationships, growing deeper in myself and in my relationships, um, being a loving wife and mother to my children and to my man and to my family, um, and helping them grow everything that they wish to grow, their businesses, their lives. Um, yeah, those are my goals, right? And then professionally, it's just everything is kind of already working out. This work that I've been doing around supporting people to make their moves, build their businesses, this is something I've just fallen into through sharing my story. And I've always loved giving opportunity and access to people that wouldn't typically have access. And so being able to share that information through this platform has really provided a gateway for that, and me being able to do that in a way that I did not intend to do it, but has seemingly been valuable for people. So yeah, that is what I wish to accomplish. It is some of what I have already accomplished, and I wish to continue to grow. Yes, Tiffany, thank you. Yes, absolutely. Thank y'all for joining the live stream. Yes, we don't move in fear. We move in love. Our energy radiates that. We attract good and loving people to us wherever we go. Um, So there's that. There is that too. Do you see African American communities in South Africa? Yeah, so I've already hooked up with the diaspora groups a couple times. There are some communities, but we also, we connect very well with South Africans. Um, so yeah, there are some communities, but I don't think it's the same. Like I feel like in Tanzania, there are a lot of like diaspora groups, right? People just click up together. And I get it. You want to feel safe. So you feel safe in places with people that are most like you. But that's the beauty of being in South Africa. I feel like there are so many similarities to African Americans and South Africans that we can really relate to each other. So I don't feel out of place when I share community with South Africans. Um, do I feel seen compared to the US? Absolutely. Yes. And I can't even say compared because I'm such a different person than who I was in the US. Like I know who I am. I know my purpose. I know that I am, my I abundance is my birthright. I know that I am in the majority. I know that I am overly represented. I am all of those. I am all of the things that we are told we are not in America. And so, yeah, I absolutely do feel seen. Um, and I have been reminded of that position being out of the US, being in Africa. Like, I know we're not underrepresented, we're overly represented. We are the majority of this world. Like, all of that. I am everywhere. I am seen everywhere on this continent. And yes, that's what I love. Do you feel as though you have decolonized your thought process? Absolutely not. It's a process, Tiffany. It is a process. I am open, right? I'm learning every day. There are things that I say that I sometimes are like, oh, wait, I said that. I grew up in a country that I grew up under some colonizers, right? My daughter even said to me, she's like, when you see white people, you speak American. And when I'm just talking regularly, people say, "Oh wow, you don't have an American accent," and I can see why. People pick on Drake because they're always like, "Oh, where's his accent? Where did his accent go?" And because when you travel the world, you pick up accents based on where you are. And I will, when we're in the house, I do kind of speak a bit more like Tanzanian, a bit more with that like deeper accent. But then when white people come, it's like a code switch that I just automatically do. I'm working on it, right? But like the owners of this place, they're British. And when they came to greet me, I just immediately turned on this American. Hi, how are you? Oh, everything is lovely. Thank you so much. Oh, we're so happy to be here. Thank you for everything. I will absolutely let you know. And my daughter was laughing because I haven't talked like that, right? So that's it's just something that I'm working on, right? I'm working on decolonizing my mind because I grew up under colonizers. So I read a lot of things to try to understand the experience of South Africans. And that's the biggest part. When you can empathize with the people, you can you can open yourself up to understanding, right? And so you're not coming in with these things that you've always known, like you're like, I know nothing, right? So coming in with you know nothing is really the way of doing this thing, right? I know as some people say, oh, you shouldn't assimilate, you should just walk with your Western, that's who you are. And I think it's a bit of both, right? Like there is no rule to this thing, right? Everybody has their own journey in it, right? So I haven't completely done away with my Western mindset, but I'm working on it. And I think it's a process. I probably will be working on it forever, right? Because I'll never be able to just strip myself of what everything that I've been taught, but I'm opening myself to learning more every day. And I'm doing that through books, through documentaries, through asking questions, and being open to that. The mukbang was a good idea. Oh, thank you, Tiffany. It's so funny because I was so against that, but my daughter loves mukbangs, and I was like, I am not going to eat on camera. That's so gross, but y'all loved it, so I'm happy. We'll do more of that. Pat, your accent changes to who you speak to. Also, it's true. Oh, and thank you for that. Well, let me go back. Let me go back. The questions. Yes. Thank you, Charlotte, for saying hello. Miss Elaine, you heard a lot of bad things about SA. Yeah, I spoke about that in this live. So don't believe everything you hear. Do you feel seen? Oh, we went through that, Chris. Yes, I do. Can I see a difference in the children? Yeah. In Africa compared to America, for sure. Oh, my children. Oh, absolutely. Oh, and Tiffany, that's where you're mentioning kind of that interview. I can see a difference. I can see a difference, even for just spending some time with American people and their children. My girls are a lot less technology like fixated. Of course, my 4-year-old always wants to be on the phone, but they know how to enjoy their space without being on tablets, right? Like they're children and they're enjoying their space, and I love that. Um, Expat in Uganda here. Shoshana, yes. How is Uganda? Do you plan on to obtain citizenship for your family? So citizenship is not as easy as a lot of people think, especially Americans. I think we're just so used to citizenship, and seeing how citizenship is extended to people that come to America. Where when you go to other parts of the world, citizenship isn't always like easily accessible. I'm less concerned about citizenship and more concerned about residency, permanent residency. So permanent residency for my family eventually absolutely is something that I'm looking at. Yes, South Africa does have great vineyards. I did do a vineyard tour, but that was vacation and I had to keep that. discreet. So maybe in the future, Olifin, you plan on moving to South Africa? Do I have recommendations on visas? I recommend that you go to Home Affairs, South African Home Affairs, and look at the visas that would apply for you. I'm happy to share my experience of what I've gone through with my visa. If you'd like to book a call with me, I'm still in that process, which is why I don't really talk about it, because it is a process. And I am going for a business visa. So yeah, it's a process, but there are so many visas that you have available to you. It just depends on what your goals and what you're looking to achieve. I noticed that African Americans do not visit Eastern Cape too much. Why? They visit the other house in Mandela and Johannesburg, but not visiting his real home. I think a Manathi, that is based on ignorance. Like, it's about what we know. And it's based on what we know, right? And what we're marketed towards. So I wouldn't say that it's something we don't want to do, right? It's just who is like the familiarity of a space, like where do we go? We're really just figuring this out, right? We don't have a roadmap. Nobody gave us a roadmap of these are the places you should visit when you travel to South Africa. We're just going to where we know people and where people are inviting us. And so exploring is a part of this journey for leaders who are taking on this experience and this journey as our own. So I'm excited to go to Eastern Cape. Can I get an invitation? I can tell me this is where you need to go. I can look it up. Maybe that's something that we'll do during the next holiday. But yeah, we're not opposed to it. I don't think that there's an opposition. I think it's more of an awareness. Ghana Lux, yes. Hope you later share info about Durban on your journey. I love Durban, and I need to share more because when I went there, I wasn't yet sharing on YouTube. So I would love to go to Durban. In fact, I know some people in Durban, so hopefully when I go, I can have a bit less of a tourist experience, because that's what I did when I was there. I stayed in Umhlanga, and it was great. It was beautiful. I loved it. All right, y'all. I'm about to, let me see, can I get, I don't know how to, all right. Bye. We had to get him out of there. Do you plan on obtaining residency? Okay, we've done that. Thank you so much, Beheki. Did I say it right? Beheki, Beheki, Beheki. I hope I'm saying it right. Thank you so much. Do I know about the bricks fiber cable? No, Lozy, but I saw you post a comment about that in another video. Can you share? Thank you. I think about going to apply for study visa, but it depends on if I get accepted in the program. Great option, Olofin. So study visa, great option. I think it's probably one of the easiest to get. Mini Mike is permanent residency, long, hard process. The cost of living better than the US. Yes, the cost of living is better than the US. And yes, the permanent residency is a process. Sharif, asante sana. Nzuri. Nzuri sana. Asante for the super chat. Elf Tano would be 5,000. I don't know how to say Tano. Tano dollars. Thank you, Asante. I live in the US currently. Oh, okay, dope. Here. Francois Williams, so nice. So not you, brother. You know, if you white folks, I like my country. Uh-oh. Well, Francois got kicked out because he was doing a lot. But sorry. This is so not you, brother. I don't know if that's him, because I've been seeing this person with like a obvious different like picture and a different name. So he's usually been super supportive, but it's been weird that console. I just, yeah, we had to like, mm, he's out of here. Sorry. I don't know about the fiber cable, Lozi. So can you share? Sorry, just logged in. The kids started school yet? No, they haven't started school. It's going. I was on the chats today, on the emails with the school admin, trying to figure out what they needed from me. Hopefully tomorrow we'll know something. Good night, Michelle. It's late here. Yeah, it's 11 o'clock. I had some coffee because I had a call. I was so tired. So I decided to do this live with everyone. I'm so grateful for y'all. Thank you for liking this stream. Share it with someone who would find value in it. And let me know if you all would appreciate more lives. I think I would love to do more lives on a regular basis. And let me know some topics that you would like me to go live on because I'm so used to pre recording and sharing what I share. But I hope this was helpful. I hope y'all enjoyed it. Be sure to share it with someone, like it, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank y'all.